Thank you in advance for the things you're going to do for me today and the days, months, weeks, years to come. Good morning, Grenada, Carriacou, Petite Martinique, the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, the rest of the world. Good morning. It's Tuesday. It's the 7th day of January. 2025 is the year. How are you doing this morning? We got some rain this morning, boy. Woo. I got a little concern and I saying, Lord have mercy, no flood today again, huh? Give thanks. Give thanks. It's a good day to have a good day. Yeah. Lydia Cameron, good morning. Fashida Gibbs, good morning. Yulin, of course, is with us as always. Monica Meros Williams, Yolan Swan, Michelle Bernard, Jillian McIntyre is with us. Mary E. Banks, of course. Veronica Sandy. Mildred Smith is going to log on soon, I'm certain of that. Catherine Phillip, good morning. How are you? Hope you're doing fine, you know. Hope everything is a-okay with you. It's 24 minutes on to the 7 o'clock at this time. Just want to say a very special good morning to all the bus drivers of the nation. And I want to implore you to understand the significant role that you play in nation building and the development of Grenada as a whole. Yeah, it's so critical that we have you. You're a critical cog in that wheel. Holy Spirit, love this. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Remember, it's a good day to have a good day, right? Nice. As we head into the word of the day today, that word of the day today is apocryphal. Apocryphal. A-P-O-C-R-Y-P-H-A-L. All right? And that's how it's spelled. And something described as apocryphal is of a doubtful authenticity. Now, the term is often applied to stories of or legends that are often repeated but likely not true. Here's how we can use the word in a sentence. The legend of how the song was fully composed while the singer was in a deep fever state is probably apocryphal. Yeah, I always have problems pronouncing that word, but say what, I can get all right, you know, but I think I got it right. Apocryphal. Yeah, good morning, good morning, good morning. I met a beautiful lady yesterday. Good morning to you, Miss Batson. She's a former teacher at St. Joseph's Convent, St. George's. Good morning to you and your entire family. Hope you're doing fine. She said, oh my goodness, I met you. You made me feel like a celebrity yesterday, man. And I don't really like that, you know. But I appreciate your embrace, man. Yeah, trust me. Like I keep saying, you know, there's absolutely nothing, no amount of money that, you know, the GBN could pay me could, you know, make me feel the way you people make me feel, you know. I know I'm not there as yet, but I'm a work in progress, right? Yeah, good morning to all those of you who support and call ever so often and give me little corrections and directions and so forth. My good friend, brother Jude Bernard, Happy New Year to you and the family, bro. So let wisdom be the case. Yeah, as we head into the motivational tip of the day. Good morning to you, Nadisha, and the folks inside of Cafe. This is Nadisha's segment, right? Nadisha, I do hope that you open up a multi-billion-dollar business so you can always sponsor the segment because that is yours, all right? Good morning to the folks inside of Crowshoe and surrounding areas. Holmesy, good morning to you and Abigail. Kitty Cat, Ariel, Alwyn, good morning. Good morning to you, Jay, from Jay's Roti Shop. Now, if you can dream it, you can do it. It begins with a dream. And pursue your dream with determination and vigor. Yeah. Push hard or go home. Good morning, good morning, good morning again to all the medical practitioners of the nation. Hope you're doing fine. Good morning to the Honorable Philip Telesford, the Minister for Health. I know you've got a tough task on your hand. As a matter of fact, politics is no easy thing, you know. Yeah, politics is no easy feat, man. All the politicians, good morning, good morning, good morning. You high belly. Yeah, to stay, to stand up and take all this criticism and all this, this tug of war and things like that. And in 99% of the cases, you don't necessarily have to do it because almost all of you are well qualified and can get, good paying jobs, not just in Grenada, around the region and around the world. But you choose to, stick with us here and serve, and that is exemplary. I just wish we do it a little better, in a way that it attracts younger folks to get into politics, because sometimes the things that are done in the political realm, you've kept good people away from it. So let's be good role models, politicians. Let's do it right. I mean, we don't always get it right, but let's try our best. Let's endeavor to do better. It's time for us to head to the nutritional health tip of the day. Good morning to you, Miss Rosie Douglas, and the folks at the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council. Tyron Buckmeyer and the folks at the Grenada Legal Aid and Counseling Clinic. Good morning. The nutritional health tip is up next.
Follow these steps and you'll be fine. Drink lots of water.
You are at risk of developing chronic kidney disease if you suffer from type 1 or type 2 diabetes. Diabetic nephropathy is a condition where the kidneys become damaged over time due to uncontrolled diabetes. When your diabetes is uncontrolled due to practices like unhealthy eating habits, not taking medication as prescribed, and not self-monitoring glucose levels, this can have a severe effect on the kidneys over time. Uncontrolled diabetes can cause damage to small blood vessels of the kidneys that filter waste, toxins, and excess fluids from the blood, leading to kidney damage. According to the Center for Disease Control, each kidney is made up of millions of tiny filters called nephrons. Over time, high blood sugar from diabetes can damage these blood vessels in the kidneys, so they don't work as well as they should. Many people with diabetes also develop high blood pressure, which can damage kidneys too. You are at risk of developing diabetic nephropathy if you have diabetes and your blood glucose is too high, and if your blood pressure is too high. You are also at risk if you don't follow your diabetic eating plan, eat foods high in salt, do not exercise, are overweight, have heart disease, and have a family history of kidney disease. You can help to reduce your risk of diabetic nephropathy by managing your diabetes effectively, including seeing a nutritionist or dietitian for advice on healthy eating habits to help you manage your blood sugar and blood pressure. Until next time, the Grenada Food and Nutrition Council reminds you to look, eat, and feel well.
Rolls ring a bell? Yes, they keep the body working.
Holy Spirit, take my soul. I love that.
Holy Spirit, fill my soul.
Let's see what's buzzing this morning. Buzzing this morning. All right. Government to make substantial amendments to the Labor Code as the Ministry of Labor reports more than $2 million collected in work permit fees. In the region, Stuart Young to replace Keith Rowley as TNT Prime Minister. Internationally, Biden bans offshore drilling across the vast area of the U.S. And in sports, Bangladesh unveils squad for a historic first women tour of the West Indies. We've got details to these and so many more coming up in the newscast. Before we go there, I want to do this, my good friend sends this every morning, and this morning he says, "Good morning. May every hour of this day bring some special thought that makes you smile. A smile that warms your heart and a heart that holds much happiness inside. God bless you. Have a wonderful Tuesday." Thank you, bro. And I extend that to you as well. Yeah? Good. Nice. I like this. Good. all those of you celebrating birthdays today, happy birthday to you, happy anniversary, whatever you're celebrating today, even if it's just another day of life and living. Of course, we know it is, it is laced with struggles and ups and downs, but we have got life, and once you got life, that's all that matters. Anything is possible when you've got life, yeah?
My God is.
So folks, the AM edition of News, Sports and the Weather comes up right after this message.
My God is. Unlocking opportunities, Excel leads the way in digital advancement every single day. Fair internet access for all to share. Transparent billing with consumer care. Excel through the EC bill, safeguarding our rights. Net neutrality, consumer protection shining bright. Mobile number portability available to you. Switch providers seamlessly. Keep the number true. Excel through the EC bill, promoting fair play in the digital world. Every single day, affordable services are important for all. Through the EC bill, there'll be progress overall. Excel and the NTRCs connecting our communities.
Excel and the NTRCs digitally transforming our space together.
This is the GBN Morning News for today, Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. Coming up in the news, government to make substantial amendments to the Labor Code as the Ministry of Labor reports more than $2 million collected in work permit fees. In the region, Stuart Young to replace Keith Rowley as TNT's Prime Minister. Internationally, Biden bans offshore drilling across a vast area of the U.S. And in sports, Bangladesh unveils squad for a historic first women tour of the West Indies. We've got the details to these and so much more after these messages.
So it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over 40 years. An island filled with beauty, a vibrant culture, and an iconic natural attraction. Now, where can this be? It's all next on this station.
Good morning. With the details, I am Gordon Joseph. Grenadians can prepare to see substantial amendments to the Labour Code this year. This was disclosed by Labour Minister Claudia Joseph in the GIS Year in Review. We have more in this.
I know we talked about it as something that we wanted to complete in 2024.
Okay.
But we're almost there. We've actually completed and submitted the policy to Cabinet for approval.
Great.
And once that approval is had, I believe it will be forthcoming in the first 2 weeks of the year. We will then move to have the legislation perfected and presented, and that will bring into effect substantial amendments to the dispute resolution aspect of the Labor Code.
Minister Joseph also addressed plans to ensure labor justice.
So we took our time and did some analysis, and so with the help of the ILO and friendly Caribbean governments, labor departments, and have come up with a mechanism that we think all stakeholders will appreciate and find more effective than what currently obtains. So we are looking forward to that coming into effect in the first quarter of the year, and also with that some other great initiatives like paternity leave and an expansion of maternity leave and some other improvements to the labor code. Right, so all in aid of a peaceful and harmonious industrial relations climate and ensuring labor justice for all our workers.
I dearly look forward to paternity leave. Meanwhile, Labour Commissioner Sparkle Grenade Courtney said government collected more than $2 million from the issuance of work permits last year. We have more in this
program. And for this year, we processed approximately so far 890 work permits in varying sectors across Grenada, Carriacou and PT Martinique, because we do process work permits for Carriacou and PT Martinique as well. In sectors such as construction, tourism and hospitality, the yachting sector, professional services, at a value of over $2 million. So it is a revenue generating activity for the government.
Ms. Grenade Courtney said this year they are working on improving and streamlining the process for one to obtain a work permit. All right, we do apologize for that technical glitch there that did not allow us to play that clip. As a matter of fact, it's now in progress.
Yes, to ensure the process is quicker, it's more accessible, and of course in keeping with the articulated policy position of the Cabinet to digitalize government services. Okay. So look out for a digitalized process in 2025. And a process that is simpler and more tailored to the needs of our stakeholders.
And finally, Grenada Cooperative Bank Limited has reported an impressive record after-tax profit of $32.4 million for the 2024 financial year, marking a significant 48% increase from the $21.9 million earned in 2023. This achievement cements the bank's position as one of Grenada's leading financial institutions, maintaining its strong performance for the 11th consecutive year. The bank's robust financial results are particularly noteworthy given the challenging economic climate. Despite rising inflation and the continued economic aftermath of Hurricane Beryl, Grenada's homegrown bank has shown resilience and agility in navigating these difficulties. That's the local segment of news. Stay with us. The regional and international developments are straight ahead, which will be closely followed by the sports and the weather. In the region, Trinidad and Tobago's Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley on Monday said that he will be replaced by the Energy and Energy Industries Minister Stuart Young as Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Rowley told reporters, "We are very pleased to announce that the promise of a smooth transition is going according to plan." Last Friday, Rowley announced that he would be resigning from office before the end of the term of his current government by August of this year. Meanwhile, former President of Guyana, Donald Ramotar, delivered a pointed critique of Israel on Saturday, accusing the nation of human rights violations against Palestinians in Gaza and condemning the international community's failure to intervene. Ramotar made the remarks during the funeral ceremony of the late Surinamese President Desi Bouterse held in Paramaribo, Suriname. In his speech, Ramotar also criticized the Netherlands for its continued support of Israel. Ramotar and Joseph Harmon, a former opposition leader in Guyana, were the only two international speakers at the event, which drew tens of thousands of mourners and onlookers. Video tributes were shared by prominent figures, including Barbados Prime Minister Mia Mottley and singer Eddie Grant, both of whom had close ties to Bouterse. Ramotar urged the 15-member Caribbean community to take a bold stand on global issues, advancing for Israel's expulsion from the United Nations. He argued that such action would demonstrate true solidarity with the Palestinian people. Looking further afield, U.S. President Joe Biden has announced a ban on new offshore oil and gas drilling along most of America's coastline weeks before Donald Trump takes office. The ban covers the entire Atlantic coast of eastern Gulf of Mexico, as well as the Pacific coast of California, Oregon, and Washington, and a section of the Bering Sea of Alaska. It is the latest in a string of last-minute climate policy actions by Biden's administration ahead of Donald Trump's return to the White House. Trump has vowed to revoke the ban immediately when he takes office, but he may find it difficult to reverse under U.S. laws. And finally, 4 years to the day after the mob of Donald Trump's supporters violently besieged the U.S. Capitol, Congress gathered to formally certify his re-election. With Trump's victory secured, the biggest obstacle currently facing lawmakers this year was a major snowstorm. Vice President Kamala Harris, who Trump defeated in the 2024 election, presided over the event as required by the U.S. Constitution. But the shadow of 6th January 2021 lingered over Monday's proceedings, despite Trump and his allies' campaign to recast the attack as a day of love. Heavy security was in place in Washington, D.C., and the current president, Joe Biden, vowed there will be no repeat of the violence 4 years ago, which led to several deaths and millions of dollars worth of damage. That's the regional and international news. The sporting highlights are straight ahead. All right, sporting fans, former West Indies all-rounder Dwayne Bravo has been appointed as head coach of the Abu Dhabi Knight Riders for the 2025 International League T20 season, the team announced on Sunday. Bravo, who retired from professional cricket after the 2024 Caribbean Premier League, most recently served as a bowling consultant for Afghanistan at the 2024 ICC T20 World Cup, helping them get all the way to the semi-finals. The veteran of 520 T20 games throughout his storied career also served as a bowling coach for the Chennai Super Kings in the 2023 and 2024 editions of the Indian Premier League, and will serve as a mentor for the Calcutta Knight Riders in the 2025 edition. Bravo will take charge of a squad filled with West Indian players, including the likes of Sunil Narayan, Andrew Russell, Roston Chase, Jason Holder, Terence Hines, and Kyle Mears. The Knight Riders opened their account against MI Emirates on January 12th. And still in cricket, the Tigresses are set to play 3 ODIs and 3 T20s in the Caribbean starting on January 19. The Bangladesh Cricket Board has announced the squad for the historic tour of the West Indies. Now, this marks the first ever visit by the Bangladesh women's team to the Caribbean. The Tigresses are set to play 3 one-day internationals and as many T20 internationals, with all matches scheduled to take place at Warner Park in Basseterre, St. Kitts. The Bangladesh team will arrive in St. Kitts on January 14th. The ODI series will take place on January 19, 21 and 24, closely followed by 3 T20 internationals scheduled for January 27, 29 and 31. The ODI series carries significant importance as both teams aim to secure vital ICC Women's Championship points for direct qualification to the 2025 Women's Cricket World Cup scheduled for India. Bangladesh currently sits 7th in the standings with 19 points, just outside the automatic qualification zone, while West Indies are in 9th place with 14 points on the board. With just 3 matches remaining, both teams will be eager to claim the final direct qualification spot. And that's the sports. Stay with us. The weather forecast is up next.
Coming up, these chefs and mixologists produce their creative best for their biggest party yet. This steel band has been making a difference for over...
All right, folks, for the latest weather forecast, we join forecaster at the Met Office of the MBIA. We say Happy New Year and good morning to Trisha Miller. Good morning, Trisha.
Good morning to you and good morning to you, listeners of GBN, and a Happy New Year to you. It's a cloudy morning here with some light showers at the airport. Winds are from the east at 13 miles per hour. Barometric pressure 1013.4 millibars, which is above the mean, and it is rising. Present temperature 25.4 degrees Celsius. Relative humidity 87%. Yesterday's maximum temperature was 30.2 degrees Celsius, and the minimum temperature last night was 24.9 degrees Celsius. Over the past 24 hours, 1.2 millimeters of rainfall were recorded here at the MBIA. This brings the total for the month so far to 50 millimeters. Now the public forecast valid for today and tonight for Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. The weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with light to moderate showers, becoming mostly fair by evening. Winds easterly to east-southeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Today's maximum temperature is expected to get up to 30.5 degrees Celsius. Seas moderate to slightly rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in open waters. A marine advisory remains in effect. Time Highs will be high around 9 a.m. and low about 4 p.m. Sunset this evening at 5:57. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 6:30. So just to recap, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy to cloudy with light to moderate showers, becoming mostly fair by evening. From the Met Office, Trisha Miller.
Sounding vibrant as ever for the new year. All the best for 2025, Trisha.
Thank you so much, and same to you.
Okay. Folks, the weather forecast came to you with the kind compliments of Rennick and Thompson Company Limited.
So it begins, a journey like none other. Every moment has the potential to be unforgettable. Bring home a piece of the tropical green forest with every emerald. Capture the sparkling light of flawless water in a diamond. Make the sunrise and sunsets last forever. With precious colored gemstones, the essence of happiness is in our most precious memories. So, when it all comes to an end, bring home something that will last forever. Colombian Emeralds International. Bring home more than a memory.
It's 5 minutes after 7 o'clock, and to end the news, recap of the headlines. Government to make substantial amendments to the Labor Code as the Ministry of Labor reports more than $2 million collected in work permit fees. In the region, Stuart Young to replace Dr. Keith Rowley as TNT's Prime Minister. Internationally, Biden bans offshore drilling across vast areas of the U.S. And in sports, Bangladesh unveils squad for a historic first tour of women in the West Indies. That has been the morning edition of news for today, Tuesday, January 7th, 2025. On behalf of the entire news department, I am Gordon Joseph, thanking you for listening, wishing you a productive day, and extending the invitation to you to stick and stay with the network, because we are with you anywhere and everywhere.
Served Grenada for decades, we are the #1 and largest electrical supplier.
Hi, welcome to Sunny Electrical. How may I help?
We offer electrical wiring accessories, tools, and appliances for all residential, commercial, and industrial applications, which is what we are known for. And we expanded our products with new innovative ways to modernize your home. New homeowners will be captivated in our lighting showrooms.
Some more pendant lights here. These are very multifunctional because they can work for kitchens, living rooms, bedrooms.
We have a wide selection of lighting, ranging from indoor to outdoor and solar. We are also available for site visit services to assist you with selecting the perfect light for your forever home. We are located at Dusty Highway in Grenada, St. George. Sudden Electrical. Best value, expert advice, quality products. We hope to see you soon.
Unlocking opportunities, Excel leads the way in digital advancement every single day. Fair internet access for all to share. Transparent billing with consumer care. Excel 3EC bill safeguarding our rights. Net neutrality, consumer protection shining bright. Mobile number portability available to you. Switch providers seamlessly. Keep the number true. Excel 3EC bill promoting fair play in the digital world. Every single day, affordable services are important for all. Through the EC bill, there'll be progress overall. Excel and the NTRCs connecting our communities.
Excel and the NTRCs, digitally transforming our space together.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com. Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
I think you don't measure up anymore. You never pick up on any of my signals. I think we should stop seeing each other. I went to courts and I realized size does matter.
Say goodbye to your old TV and hello to a new one from Quartz, bringing Christmas home.
Are you looking for a reliable, affordable, and customer-friendly pharmacy? Look no further than Hills and Valley Pharmacy, the nation's leading healthcare products and services provider. We are committed to serving you at convenient locations. Find an extensive and affordable selection of prescription and over-the-counter drugs and medical supplies at Church Street, Hillsborough, Carriacou, Jubilee Street, Grenville, St. Andrew, near the bus terminal, and Halifax and Grenville Street, St. George. Our committed team is always available to offer valuable assistance for managing your health and wellness. Discover the additional benefits of our wholesale distribution on Halifax Street and our Medcare Center on Grenville Street, where we provide in-house physiotherapy, massage therapy, doctor consultations, and eye care services. Our commitment is to satisfy all your healthcare needs, including competitive prices, loyalty rewards, and special discounts for seniors. Contact us at 435-6904 and WhatsApp 535-4734. Choose Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Remember, your health is our business.
Welcome, viewers and listeners, to the conversation. It's 11 minutes after 7 o'clock, and happy am I to present to you this morning, so early in the new year. I thought it, imperative that I start the new year with some form of celebrity and, national ambassador and so forth. My good friend Lyndon Victor. Welcome back to GBN, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, the pleasure is always here at the GBN. How is Lyndon doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing very, very, very good. I'm happy with where I'm at in training. I think it's the first year in the last 2 years that I've actually had trained the first 2 months of training, so that's a good sign for me.
Right, good. Now, we talking because after our conversation the last time, right?
Yeah.
Calls came in repeatedly that we should do this a little more often, because your speech, your level of humility was so motivating and enlightening that it was thought that we should have this sort of conversations a little more often, because you're an inspiration to the young as well as the middle-aged and the old.
Yeah.
So I want you in your own way to describe your 2024 season, your year 2024.
Oh man, to describe that, I would say resilient. If I could put it in one word, there's a lot of personal things that happen in my life. There's a lot of setbacks that I had during the 2024 season. Just at the end of 2023, I lost my sister, and that going into 2024, I wasn't in the best place mentally to even want to compete at the Olympics. So that's one of the hurdles that I had to overcome. And You know, just with being an athlete, you're always injured. And I have a story. During the Olympics, in the second event in the decathlon, I pulled my hamstring.
Wow.
Yeah, this is something that nobody knows. Just the people in my camp. I pulled my hamstring, and I sat there in Paris, and I looked up and I was like, God, you're really gonna make me come all here in Paris and not finish the decathlon because I was in so much pain. And I was there, I was contemplating if I want to jump because I already had one jump in. I was like, do I jump? Do I take the next jump? I wanted to go talk to my coach, and I sat there and I prayed, and God said, if you believe you're going to win a medal, you're going to take this next jump. And I ran on the runway, and I jumped, and I didn't jump good at all. But that's when I knew I was gonna win a medal. And after the long jump, I had the doctors from Germany helping me out, the doctors from Estonia, the doctors from USA. They were all helping and working on my hamstring. And they had guys in the decathlon with me.
Also, they had their own athletes competing against
me.
But they were working on getting you fit.
I have never seen nothing like that in my whole life. And they have more things than what we have in on Team Grenada. So they had like shots and like creams and like machines that would really loosen up the hamstring, and they just really wanted to see me compete well, and I've never seen anything like that. So I think that when I say resilient, like I had to overcome a pulled hamstring in Paris, and to this day my hamstring is still not 100%.
Wow. I wish some competitors in some competitions in Grenada take a page from that book. You know that the competition is bigger than the competitors.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
I think that's the beauty with the decathlon. We're all in the same room, we're all dying together, so there's a bit of a brotherhood that happens in the decathlon, because you're there for 2 days with the same people, and usually all the big competitions is the same guys anyway. So they've seen me struggle, they've seen me, not finish, they've seen me just keep pushing and pushing, and they wanted to see me finish this meet.
They wanted to see the optimum you.
Yes.
Let me see what this Grenadian boy got in that tank. I really want to see how deep this Grenadian boy can get.
Yeah, and to finish third with a pulled hamstring, and what's crazy is that the day after I was done with the decathlon, I realized how bad the hamstring was.
So what do you attest that to? Do you think it was medicine, or do you think it was divine intervention?
Man, I can't say it was medicine, because when I was done, it was still hurting. I think God had a huge part to play with me winning a medal, and also I feel like He puts you in a situation where if you win a medal, it's not because of you.
That's what He does. That's how He operates.
Yeah, I really believe that, because I was like, if you ask me to do the decathlon now with my hamstring the way it is, no, there's no way.
Okay.
There's no way I would finish the decathlon.
That was the point where you let go and let God.
Yeah. I mean, because I felt like there was a bit of a test, because if I didn't take that last jump, I would have never known that. When I took the jump, mentally I felt like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought it was, because my eyes, when you have a shock and your eyes just open big, I was like, this can't be right. I trained too much, I sacrificed too much for the second event in the decathlon to just be done, and the reality of it, that's the nature of the beast. You could be done after the first, you could be done in the warm-up. Like, people get hurt in the warm-up and don't even compete.
Oh, wow.
So
okay, wow, that's awesome. Now, in terms of I mean, you're an international icon. You're an iconic figure at the moment. But in terms of your local preparation, how do you go about your local preparation? I mean, do you do the bulk of your training and preparations here or elsewhere?
Well, if I'm being honest, I would love to be able to do my training here. But doing the decathlon, I just don't have the resources here to to do all that I need to do, because I have to pole vault, I have to hurdle. My coach is in the U.S. Next year we want to spend most of my time in Grenada.
That's this year or next year?
Next
2026?
year.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I think it's something that we actually have to plan. You know, we can't just get up and say that we're going to move to, because I have to get my poles here, because I use specific poles. Like, I can't use any random poles. So the poles that I have are made for me, and getting them to Grenada is a hassle. Getting them out of Grenada to compete is another hassle. Just the hurdles and everything that we have. But I would like to do most of my preparations here, but most of my preparations now are done in the U.S. And while I'm here, I walk out with Anderson. He tries to teach me some javelin tips, which I still don't get. But, you know, I work with Anderson and Coach Paul in Las Vegas. And, you know, they try to help me better my tree throws while I'm here, because I've always been a dominant thrower in the decathlon.
Okay. Now, which leads me to my next inquiry. In terms of Team Grenada, all right, when you go out to the regional or international meets, how connected are you all? I mean, do you all have a relationship outside of competition, or you all just meet up because you all come from separate ways, and you might meet at the airport and you have the Grenada flag, so you all just congregate together? But do you all have a sort of personal relationship?
Oh yeah. Just yesterday, me, Kiani, and Anderson had lunch. You know, so we. Also,
the Jaguar is actually here.
Yeah. So
Jaguar, good morning.
So we are really tight, really tight. We're really close. I think we want to see each other do good, and I think me and Anderson, we were talking about that yesterday, because I competed first in Paris, right? And I was like, I'm not going to be the only Grenadian to not win a medal, because I saw the way Anderson and Kirani were looking in training. So I say, you know what, them two boys gonna win a medal.
I have to win one. So that was a motivating factor for you.
Yeah, because and that's what happens when you have a strong team.
Right.
Because you don't want to be the odd one out. And when I went first and I won the medal, Anderson was like, if Linda win a medal,
I have to win one.
I have to win one. You know, and Kiani felt the same way, but he has already won 3 medals.
I mean, Kirani winning a medal now was just putting an extra layer of icing on the iced cake that he has already.
Definitely, but I mean, we sit in the rooms and we play dominoes all night. We talk all night. We just chat about life and things outside of sports, and relationships. Like, we are really, really connected, and I love that. I love, just the other day we were texting, we miss you, like we were talking about, we miss each other,
Wow.
So it's good.
So you are predominantly based where?
In Texas.
Anderson is based where?
Here.
Anderson is really here?
Yeah, here.
Kirani is in Alabama. Arizona.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Now, I know you're a staunch Christian. Do you ever try to convert them to Christianity?
What make you think they're not?
Well, I know Kirani seems to be a Catholic.
Yeah.
Right. Anderson is?
I don't know if he's Catholic or not, but
is Anderson a Christian?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, man, you think you win a medal by 1 centimeter if you're not a Christian? No, I think the group of guys is really, really religious.
Okay.
Really, they have a strong belief in faith and in God. Like, I think that's one of the things that we all have in common. I think the love for God, and I think, if I'm being honest, I feel like most Grenadians in some way or the other have, even if they go to church or not, have a deep love for Christ. Like, you can be on the block chilling, and you would hear a man quoting scriptures and stuff for you more than somebody that's even going to church
every day.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So
yes, that's a good feeling. Let me ask you this: Kirani's position 5th in the Olympics. Do you think? I mean, without being biased, do you think this could be it for Kirani? I mean, he has had a long-lived career. You think he has reached the pinnacle now?
Not even close.
So we can expect more medals from Kirani?
I'm not saying we can expect more medals, but what I'm saying, like, I don't think he's even close to being done, or like the guy just ran 43 twice. He's never ran 43 twice in the same meet at the same championship. You know that?
Yeah, that's true.
In semis and finals, he's never done
that. So, in essence, maybe Kirani hasn't peaked as yet.
Like, he almost PB'd in last year. Like, just that in itself is just remarkable to be at that level since he was about 12 years old. Like, I wish I can tell you what it is or what it's not.
I can tell you. It's the blue dashing and the Jack's broth.
Yeah, I don't know. I might need some blue dashing and Jack's broth. But yeah, the guy is phenomenal, man. Like, I always say that I'm a basketball guy, and I feel like your team mirrors your leader.
Yeah.
And I feel like Team Grenada mirrors Kirani in a lot of ways, like with the humility and everything. Like, I feel like if he was an arrogant, cocky guy, I feel like Team Grenada might have been that way. But because he's the leader of Team Grenada, there's no ifs, ands, or maybe. Like, but we mirror after him. Like, we mirror the way we speak, the way we interact, the way we compete after him,
right?
And that's just the truth, and that's coming from me. You know, he's the leader of Team Grenada. We go as far as the Jaguar takes us.
I like this. I really do like this. Folks, in case you're wondering, if you're just joining us and it's your first time to the program, I'm speaking with Grenada's, one of Grenada's sports ambassador, Lyndon Victor, this morning. Lyndon, I want to ask you that. How supportive is your family? Because I haven't heard you tell Brother Finn and everybody else morning yet, I know he's seated blue in front of
I don't even know. I know they have a big walk this morning, so I don't even know if he even. Man, my family is. I think that's the reason I do what I do.
I know they're always praying for you.
Always.
I know Pastor Laurie and the church at Wester Hall always have you in prayers.
Yeah, I mean. Like, my family is extended. Like, the whole of Grenada is my family.
Yeah.
But like my sisters, my brothers, my mom, and my dad, I mean, man, I love them because they support me. Like, my sisters were in Paris, my mom was in Paris. Uncle Finn was like, he don't want to go, but I know he was there supporting me.
Yeah.
Like, it's a good feeling.
Right.
It's a good feeling to have a family that supports what you're doing, that believes in you, that are proud of you.
And especially when it's not in academia.
Yeah.
Because in Grenada and to the region mostly, you find when you're doing good in academics, you're more embraced.
Yeah.
But, in sports, to have that measure of support, it speaks volumes.
But it's needed. It's needed because, the thing about sports, it's not always good. Like, things doesn't always go good, and like, for me, I put a lot of pressure on myself sometimes to be good. And sometimes just having that having somebody, people that you can talk to and that you can relate and know that, okay, if I do good or do bad, my family is gonna love me regardless. Like, they don't love me because I win a medal or I don't. Like, when I come home, it's gonna be, boy, you didn't clean the pig pen yet, or boy,
I hear him fit.
you know what I mean? So regardless, it's gonna be the same, or like,
it's unconditional.
It's unconditional.
Oh,
so I think that's the safe space, because, okay, if people only love you when you win a medal, then
that's not true love.
Yeah.
As Stevie Wonder said, part-time. That's part-time love.
Part-time love.
Yeah, that's part-time.
Definitely.
Do you think Grenada as a whole? Because I'm seeing a move to have a sports policy. They've just implemented a sports council. My good friend Patrick Simmons is spearheading that initiative. Do you think that with this sort of initiatives and directions, we can see more Lyndon Victor, more Kirani, more what's my other friend's name? Anderson Peters, and not only them, but we have a plethora of other athletes coming forth. But do you think that the sports council and the sports policy could make a marked impression?
I can't say for sure, but what I will say is that we needed something.
Right.
And I can't say, we need it. That is what we need, because it hasn't been implemented yet. But what I would say is that we needed something to be able to have athletes look forward to know exactly something to hold governments accountable. Because if you have a policy, if you have law, then they're actually accountable.
Yeah.
You know?
If you deviate from it, then there are consequences.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I think I'm not going to say I haven't seen the sports policy. I've heard things that are in it. I've heard of things that are in it, but I don't know everything that is in it. So I can't speak directly for it. But I feel like we needed something to be able to, as athletes, or just as Grenadians, we needed something to be like, if we do this, then we get this, and the government is reliable for this, and you as a citizen is reliable for this. So I think it's.
And in addition to that, Hazelin Regis Beckles, I think her new name is Beckles now.
Yeah.
She's now part of a regional body that is going to overlook regional athletes.
Yeah.
And. That for me is a step in the right direction. All right, tell you what, it's 30 minutes after 7 o'clock. Folks, we've got to take a commercial break, but in case you're wanting to know, I'm speaking with Grenada's Lyndon Victor. We'll be back after these messages. Don't you go anywhere.
The St. John's Christian Secondary School 60th anniversary, January 12th to the 19th, 2025, celebrating 60 years of excellence through God's grace and guidance. Calling all alumni, come out and celebrate with us. Here's the calendar of events. On Sunday, January 12th, church service at the school auditorium from 9:30 a.m. Wednesday, January 15th, meet and greet at Belmont Estate 3:30 p.m. Thursday, January 16th, health fair at the school from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. Friday, 17th January, chapel day, open forum at 10 a.m., open house at 11 a.m. Sunday, January 19th, gala at the Trade Center from 7 p.m.
For 30 years, we've been driven by a commitment to our customers and to continuously improving our standards of quality.
Through every success and challenge, your support remains unwavering.
That loyalty has inspired us to listen, learn, and return with a renewed commitment.
We've taken important steps to ensure that your health and safety remain top priority.
And each bottle is a reflection of our promise to deliver the highest standards of quality.
As we move forward, we want to thank you for always standing by us.
We are honored and extremely grateful to be back. Thanks to you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and cheers to 30 more years.
Grenada is indeed beautiful and worth exploring. We firmly believe that you should be allowed to do so. Why not explore Grenada with James Services Corp Off-Road Tours? Whether you decide to explore Grenada with your family, spouse, or large group of friends, we are ready to welcome you. Our tours are guaranteed to leave you with wonderful memories of Grenada if you are visiting and excitement if you live here. Book a tour with us now by visiting our website www.jamessvcs.com Call 1473-442-3769 or email info@jamessvcs.com. James Services Corp. Off-Road Tours.
I am Dennis James Williams, owner and director of James Services Corp. Looking forward to welcoming you to the beautiful island of Union to explore with James Services Corp. Off-Road Tours. See you soon.
Explore our beautiful island of Grenada from an angle that is unique and off-road, but equally fun. We are 100% family-friendly tours.
All right, welcome back, viewers and listeners. It's 24 minutes, 26 minutes actually, on to the hour of 8 o'clock, and I'm speaking with Ambassador Lyndon Victor this morning. Lyndon, whether we like it or not, all right, we age.
Yeah.
And in sports, age comes faster. You understand? Because your injuries and so forth, they kick in at a time when in your normal life, if you're not in sports, you're still okay.
Yeah.
But if that's your livelihood and injuries stop you, how lucrative is it for you as an athlete? In essence, are you able to create a livelihood that when Lyndon Victor cannot compete again, I hope it's in the next 10, 15 years.
No.
You understand? I hope you have another 10, 15 years of competition with us, or maybe more, I hope. What do you think?
I don't want to do 10 more years in the decathlon.
But the gist of the question and the concern is, can you have a meaningful, substantial life out of your career sports?
I think that's the misconception with track and field, not sports, because there's some sports that pay a lot of money. But I feel
golf. Why didn't you play golf?
I don't know. Maybe I should try it.
Yeah, get into it eventually. I intend to golf.
I heard it's a good sport, but I feel like there's a misconception that in track and field, when people hear professional athlete, they automatically assume that you live the same lifestyle as like a basketball player or like an NFL guy or like a golfer, and that's not true. For my event in particular, like I only compete twice a year, because when I'm done with a decathlon, I feel like I need a month to recover from a decathlon, and so I only compete twice a year. And if you win, you might make, let's say, $10,000, right?
That's US.
But then with that, they tax you. Then you got to pay your coach, and then you got to pay your agent. So, and that's only if you win. So if you come second, if you come third, or whatever, that's outside of the major championships. That's like a normal decathlon. So there's this misconception that, as track and field athletes, we make a lot of money. I feel like we depend solely on like sponsorships. And speaking of sponsorships, I have, to me, two of the best sponsors in Grenada who have come on board to help support me. Well, everybody know about Huggins. Huggins have been partnered with Lyndon Victor since 2018.
Oh, wow.
They've been supporting me behind the scenes, publicly, like whatever I need. They've always been there. And recently, I just inked a really good deal with the Grenada Credit Union, who have who believe in me and believe that in 2028 I can win another medal. So they have come on board to help Lyndon Victor with his training, and not outside of training, just to be able to help me save something that when I'm done with track and field, I can actually have something saved. So the Grenada Credit Union and Huggins are trying to help like the local Grenadian boy, because they understand the situation with track and you don't make a lot of money and stuff like that. So
People would think that, okay, Lyndon won a bronze medal at Paris.
and that should be some good money. Was that the case?
No, well, the Olympics doesn't pay, you know. The Olympics, even if you, for years, the Olympics have never paid. If you win bronze, gold, silver, it doesn't matter. But next Olympics, I think the winner is going to get $50,000 or something like that. Which still isn't much if you really look at it and you break $50,000 down into 4 years for training.
Yeah,
is
nothing.
Yeah, and what it costs to take care of your body, to eat right and stuff like that. So again, that's why I'm so appreciative of what Huggins and the Grenville Credit Union are doing for me, and not only for me, like what Republic Bank is helping Anderson with and what Co-op Bank is helping Kiani with, because I think it's needed. I think Corporate Grenada needs to support the athletes, not just the three of us, but adopt a young athlete. Because when Huggins adopted me in 2018, I didn't even win a world championship yet, but
they saw the ability in you.
Yeah, they adopted me and helped me, and 6 years later,
the medal came.
You see what I'm saying? So they didn't wait until I got a medal to be like, and what I signed with the credit union, we were talking even before the Olympics. We had a 1-year deal before the Olympics, and now after the Olympics we signed a 4-year deal, which to me is you can tell that, okay, let's see how, with more support, how good Lyndon Victor could be.
Yeah. I must take the time off and say kudos to my good friend Devon Charles and the members of the executive body of Grenville Credit Union. Knowing where they came from and to where they are today, that in itself is impressive.
Yeah.
Even Devon himself, is an impressive guy. So kudos to you. Kudos to Huggins as well. But when you look at athletes like Usain Bolt and the Asafa Powell and those guys, I read the news all the time. Usain Bolt just lost sometime last year, I think $33 million or something like that. Yeah. And he of course he would like to reclaim them, but it's not like he left it. It left him broke.
Yeah.
That means he has money.
Yeah.
Do you see, or maybe I should ask it this way, why do you think Grenadian athletes cannot get onto some of these lucrative sponsorship deals?
Well, two is the nature of an event. I think that's just how track and field works. The 100 meters, they're going to pay you. The sprinting events, they're going to pay you. The field events is not respected in track and field, period.
And that's sad.
You would think all medals are created equal. That's not true. All medals are not created equal. And also, too, even when I was looking for sponsorships in the U.S., they were like, if I was a U.S. athlete, they would have wanted me. But they're looking at marketing and exposure and
maybe the fact that you run under the Grenadian flag.
Yeah, that too sometimes is a hindrance.
If you had sold out.
Nah, I'm never going to sell out. I'm never going to do that.
That's not in your DNA.
No. But it's just the reality, we're a small country, small team. They're looking at how much exposure they can get. So even if I'm a little bit better than somebody else, but they're Team USA, they have 300 million people they can market to. So that's kind of what I've been told in the U.S. So that's why I love Grenada. That's why I embrace Grenada, because when I hear these things, it actually motivates me to beat the U.S. athletes.
Like this, go whoop them.
Yeah, it motivates me to want to beat the bigger countries. They're countries that when you think about what Grenada is doing, and these big countries, they don't even win medals. Like they're countries that pump.
Yeah. When you look at Grenada in terms of per capita, our population and the caliber of athletes that we produce and the medals that we get, I mean, it's like we won the Olympics.
Well, I think there's a stat that said that we per capita we definitely did.
Yeah.
So
I just want to say kudos to the folks in the Olympic Committee, Vida Bruno and the Bonnie Wilson and all those guys that, I want us to use these performances from you guys as the impetus to move forward. Let's go out and do more for athletes. We're running out of time. We talk, and there are so many things to talk about. I'm so sorry that I couldn't get Kirani. And then again, folks want to interact with you, so we have to give them some time. But 2025, what's the schedule? What's your timetable like?
So 2025, I have competitions and world championships, but I think I'm also venturing outside of just track. I'm launching the Lyndon Victor Foundation.
You're doing that in Grenada?
In Grenada. Okay. I'm Grenadian to the bone. My foundation is set to help not just student athletes, but regular students, give them scholarships to go to school all throughout high school. And try to, because I know how expensive it is to get pants and to get books and to get shoes and stuff to go to secondary school. So the foundation is going to help student athletes, and they're going to help regular students get scholarships and try to alleviate that burden on parents. So there's a lot of things happening for me and I have a camp that's coming up where some of my friends from the U.S., the Olympic champions and world champions, are going to come and impact the young athletes in Grenada.
Wow.
So we have a lot happening, so I'm really excited for that. I know what will happen when these kids get to interact with the world champion, get to interact with the Olympic champion, and just learn from them and pick their brain, and just have these guys help them understand what it takes to get to this level. And I think that's how we're going to produce the next Lyndon Victor, and that's how we're going to produce the next Granny and Anderson going into 2028 and 2032.
You spoke a book there. It is often said that parents would tell you as a child, well, no, it's sort of changing a bit. But in my days going to school, you went to school for school.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, in school, they would tell you, we're going and play games. But now we're realizing that what we call games now are actually careers for some people.
Oh, yeah.
But there must be a sense of balance, all right? If Lyndon Victor makes the millions and he cannot account for it, or for them, then you have a problem. I say all this to say that you have to have a sense of balance in terms of academics as well. What would you like to say to the younger folks out there who are pursuant of an athletics or a sporting career, but want to focus primarily on sports?
And this is a good question in a sense, because this is why my foundation is geared towards getting these kids to school, not to give them spikes or anything like that. Because when I started track, I started track to get a scholarship. I started track because I wanted to further my education, and I knew that was the opportunity to further my education. I didn't do track to be an Olympian and to be a medalist. I only did track because I knew that the only way I was going to get that education was, well, a bachelor's degree, because I couldn't afford it, was through sports, because I've seen so many Grenadian athletes go out there and get athletic scholarships, and I knew that it's a high demand for that. So what I would say to them is that your schoolwork comes first. Like, it makes no sense being the world's greatest athlete and somebody's going to rob you. Like, you can't read a contract, or you don't know the basics. So I feel like I say this every time when I talk to them. education has made more millionaires than track sports ever would. If you're being honest, the educated people are the ones that pay these athletes. Like, people see the amount of money that these athletes make, but there's somebody paying them.
Yeah. You know, I never looked at it this way. I'm saying these guys are making money, but the people that are paying, there must be somebody paying Usain Bolt and Tiger Woods.
Exactly. Yeah. And these guys are educated and smart. So I'm a firm believer in education first. And when you're educated, I feel like you're a smart athlete, you're a better athlete, you're a student of your sport. Because even to this day, I still go home and I do my homework, but my homework is just different because now my homework is involved in sports, but it's the same principle.
Right.
Now I go and I research. I learn from my mistakes. I watch film. I do all these. I study my competitors. It's the same habits that I developed. Studying for my exams. Like, I graduated with a 3.2 GPA from Texas A&M. My whole aim was to literally get the education and to change the trajectory of my generation. And you know, I'm a competitor. Anything I do, I want to win. So I was in track, so I was like, I might as well give it my best shot.
Good. What happens when that time comes for Lyndon to retire? Where does Lyndon go? You've got a bachelor's degree in what, business?
Yeah, in business. Yeah, right. From Texas A&M.
So what happens to Lyndon? What's your career path post decathlon?
No, I come home and rest some pigs and stuff, you know.
Huh?
I come home and rest some pigs and stuff like that.
But no, you're saying it as though it's voluntarily, but when you retire, you come back home, I hear him, Brother Finn, saying, Lyndon, the pig pen and the
No, but honestly, I'm venturing into a lot of different things right now. I'm exploring my options. I don't want to wait until I'm done to explore my options. So, and that's one of the reasons why I'm so grateful for Huggins and the credit union, because they are allowing me to be able to train and to still be able to explore options, you know, because without that, I would be focused on, how am I going to pay my rent and all these other things.
All right. It would be selfish of me if I take all the talk for myself. Let Grenada talk to Grenada's Anderson Peters. Lyndon Victor.
Come on.
Okay. And Lyndon is a taller, handsome one. Good morning, caller.
Yes, good morning, Doc.
Welcome.
Good morning to your guest.
Good morning, sir.
I'll tell you something. I'm listening to this conversation there, and I'm asking these questions. I am hearing a very tired man, you know, and hearing that even at the level of the Olympics, you're not making money, you're not getting money. You know, I want to ask, what is the price of a seat in the Olympics?
That is a good question.
Very big question.
Because the tickets were so expensive because I had to pay because my sisters and them were there. And for years, it's been like that. They've made the Olympics an amateur sport, and I never understood that.
Okay, and so I'm saying here, so I don't want to go back to slavery. But this is slavery. Where do the money go? If the athletes are not getting the money, and it's not an easy sport. Running is and running consistently. This is bulwark. Where do the money go? And it takes me right back to home. What the economy is doing to our nation's youth or young people, you aspiring people, you celebrities, what it's doing. Could we stay here and develop? Could we put a system in place where our athletes, our citizens can develop right here instead of going and showcase themselves, for nothing? One game in the Olympics or competing in the Olympics should bring you back, sir, something in the region of $3 million. Yeah? Not less than this. You know,
what do you think?
I'm saying so. So, in other words, you are showcasing for massa. It brings me back to slavery. This is slavery, and somebody has to work on this very, very seriously. You can't go and burn out yourself for people sitting in a pavilion, yeah? And at the end of it all, you get nothing. When you retire, what happens? What happens?
Okay. Thank you, caller.
I share his sentiments. You know, he makes good points. I don't know how you change it, because I feel like they marketed the Olympics as you compete with your heart and you compete with your soul for your country.
But the organizers make the money.
But the organizers make the money. So I think that's kind of how they've always marketed the Olympics. And
all right, somebody else wants to reach out to Lyndon. Good morning, welcome.
Yes, President, good morning. I've been listening to this conversation, and to me, something is wrong somewhere. Quite a lot of points have been, by the last caller, have been passed on. You get no money, etc. I want to be a number of things in wrong. Could be climatic conditions. It could be the food, because out there I'm going to get dashing and blogon fig, and that could affect your system. And I think that athletes should be treated as the footballers are treated and cricketers are treated. I was an athlete too, and I know exactly what you're talking about. Climatic and a whole host. I could just go on and on and on mentioning things, and I think it is time that either the Olympic Association or whoever see that the athletes get some reward. Because, as was pointed out, you can't go on, to use a common term, boasting yourself out there, and then money goes in another direction. And I think something should be done. Thank you.
Thank you, caller. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want to make the thing solely about money or whatever.
And not only that, too, in addition to that, it is often said, do not criticize the cook in the kitchen, because it could be hazardous to your health. So you have to be very cautious, and you have to trim your words carefully.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Hi, good morning, Innocent, and good morning to Grenada staff. How you doing? It's good to hear you.
Good morning. Thank you.
And I hear listening to you, and I hear you mention about tyranny, all your pattern, his style, with humility. And trust me, when I just tuned in, I really thought it was Tyranny James. But when I continue, I realize it's somebody else. This is a good person to copy. The little, he humble, he don't show off, and, things like that. So if you get a few more, not even athletes, but a few more Grenadian men and women could follow his humbleness, respect, strength, and devotion, we'll have a lot of more strong Grenadian male and female in this country. So you have a happy new year, and God bless you. And good morning to our star again, Tyranny James. May God bless this young man. I love you all so much. Thank you.
Thank you, caller.
Yeah, definitely. But I also know that there's a lot of humble young men in Grenada as well that are just as humble as myself and Kirani. It's just that they're not in the spotlight.
They're not recognized as yet.
Yeah. So I know that there's a lot, and I hope that just us being out there and us being in the spotlight, and they see the humility. I hope that other people emulate that. But I know for a fact that there's a lot of well-mannered young men in Grenada.
It's not as bad as some people try to make it appear.
Yes.
Let's go back to the telephone line. Good morning, caller. Welcome.
Yes, good morning. Well, Happy New Year, Innocent. Definitely. And to all in the media fraternity and the sports fraternity, track and field, all other fields, whatnot. I just wanted to say that Lyndon's career, it's a wonderful reflection of Grenadians as a people. Look at how when he had that hamstring injury, and people, doctors from other teams turned to his assistance. And Grenada is one of the very few places that I would see as a tourist attraction, the friendliness of the people. And it just shows a sort of reaching out, it shows an openness, etc. And I really would want to know Lyndon's views on how he sees this continuing, because very, very often we find growing concerns about our younger people. Now, so putting spots to reach out to younger people, especially those who have problems with their temperaments, with tempers, fighting. You have girls who are getting into drinking, that kind of thing. That whole reaching out aspect that has been displayed so wonderfully. And I just wanted a view on that because we are going on and it's passing on to other generations. But in the meantime, congratulations, Lyndon, and all of your other co-athletes as you continue in your own careers. But what about the careers of those to come?
Thank you, Tuntun.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. That's a good question. I think, one, I have a passion for inspiring and motivating, especially the young men of not just Grenada, of the world. After I won the medal, I've been fortunate enough to I want to say hired to go to speak to different countries, to go to speak in different schools, different churches, and I want to do this in Grenada though. I want to sit and talk and show the young men that there's a different way, but also it's hard for me to do it by myself. Like I've been to like 6 schools and I had to drive to Grenville on my own gas, drive to just doing this on my own, and their teachers, their principals reaching out, Lyndon, come talk to my kids. And you can see that they need that. Like the principals are begging me to come, but I just can't do. I need help from
corporate Grenada.
Not even corporate. Like corporate Grenada doesn't need that. I feel like this is something that me and the government needs to talk about. Where I am put in a role where I can actually, not even just me, but all the young men are put in a role where they can inspire young men.
A sort of mentorship, something.
Definitely, because I feel like when you're in an environment and a young man is only seeing one way, he thinks that's the way. And there's a lot of things that I thought this was the way, but when I left Grenada and I went to another country and I saw the way that other men acted, I was like, well, this is not the way. So I learned a lot of things because I saw a different thing. So if we can put a group of men together, not just athletes, but successful businessmen, and we can talk and inspire young men to show, okay, I did this way and it turned out this way. Or, man, even get some of the guys that didn't turn out well and talk to them, to say, fellas, I went down the same road. But I think it needs to be a collective thing, and this is something that I am really passionate about. And for me, sometimes when I'm going to be honest, like sometimes when I'm going to go speak to different countries and different people, I was like, man, I wish a Grenadian boy was hearing this.
Yeah.
So the relevant authorities, you're hearing that, let's create that movement. It's, the current administration, one of its key word is transformation. Let's make this part of the transformative agenda. Utilize our ambassadors, our mentors to go out there and touch the lives of the people that need to be touched.
I will be behind that one. I will put my name and my likeness behind something like that because, like it or not, these guys are the future.
Yeah.
Like these young men are the future of Grenada.
We're going up the ladder to come down now.
Yeah.
Lyndon, it's way past our time, but I want to thank you again. Is there anything and anybody you would want to just mention or, before we end?
I think just the Grenada public in general, man, let me tell you guys, I really appreciate the support. And every time I walk down the street and people stop me, I feel love. I feel appreciation for the things that I have done. And that means a lot because when I compete, innocent, I ain't gonna lie to you. I compete for Grenada. Like when people hear me saying Grenada and stuff like that, it's because I really compete for Grenada. Because I compete, I know that people get up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch me compete, and I compete knowing that, listen, these like Grenadians are prideful people and they love what I do, and I, even if I win or lose, I just want to be able to compete at my best. So I appreciate all the support. Like when I was competing, and every Grenadian, they were glued to the TV. People were saying, "But I pushed you to the 1500." You know, that means a lot to me.
I know this feeling.
I ain't gonna lie, that really does mean a lot.
I was part of that process as well.
Yeah, they were like, "Boy, you win that medal because of me. Can I run that whole 1500 with you?" You know, and that shows love. That shows love and appreciation, because decathlon is already tough. Yeah. So I appreciate all the Grenadian support, and it means a lot to all of us, not just myself, all the athletes. It means a lot. The support, like the love that we get when we walk down the street and people just stop and say, "Nice." Like, you know, even if just somebody asking me for a picture make me feel good, and because it was like they see the hard work. You know, so I appreciate that.
Lyndon, I want to wish you all the best. Well, you know, you're like family.
Definitely.
You know, you're family to us. And, you know, I want to wish you all the best in your endeavors, your future endeavors. I am expecting another medal, not the same one. You know, we're going up 2 notches.
Yeah, that's the plan.
In 2028.
That's the plan.
And I want you to go through that period of time as injury-free as possible. I wish you good health. On behalf of the GBN, you know that we're always there behind you. Anytime you want to reach out, you know my personal number.
I do.
Yeah, you know to call me.
Yeah.
You understand? And one of the things that, you know, touches me even more is the fact that amidst all this, the exposure, the competitions, you're God-centered. You're a Christ-centered person. And to me, that matters most.
Yeah, he's the source, man.
Yeah.
Trust me, you don't grow up in Lafayette and like you don't grow up in Lafayette in Grenada and go and win a medal in the decathlon if not for God.
Yeah.
Because I never pole vaulted until I went to America.
Right.
I never huddles, all of these events we don't even have in Grenada, because when I was doing it we didn't have a stadium.
Right.
So I had to learn these things, and then to go, and it's just God's grace, man. That is it.
Stay rooted, bro.
Yeah, that's.
Folks, I have been speaking with one of Grenada's ambassadors. I could call you how I want. The Honorable. That is true honorable. Truly honorable Lyndon Victor. And you know, we've omitted the BBC this morning, and it's for a just cause. You did us proud, and I know as a people we are going to be there behind you and all our athletes. The Afi Fletcher, Afi is doing us proud as well.
She is.
You know, and it's just about that time again. Last year around now, the Grenada was in a frenzy. 50th anniversary of independence. We saw solidarity to the max. And I want this to be a motivator to let people know that Grenada is not as bad as some people try to make it appear. Of course, there's good and bad in everybody and everywhere. But let us celebrate the good and work on those areas that are not so good, because Grenada is unique.
Yeah, it is.
There is absolutely no other place in the world, not even in our close region, that you would find as closely knitted as Grenada.
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep Grenada that way and work on the areas that need to be worked on. That's it for the program this morning. Lyndon, once again, all the best.
Appreciate it.
Bring the love home for me.
Pleasure as always. Yes.
Folks, that's it. Thank you.